And closing legend Mike Tyson, now his late 50s, keeps on resisting the assumptions for age as he gets ready for his profoundly expected battle with virtual entertainment star turned fighter Jake Paul. Anyway, ongoing instructional courses have taken a savage turn, leaving one of Tyson's competing accomplices hospitalized after merciless knockout. Sources from Tyson's instructional course have supposedly affirmed that during a new fighting meeting, Tyson, generally viewed as one of the most few heavyweights in boxing history, conveyed a staggering punch that took out his fighting accomplice. The effect was extreme to such an extent that the accomplice blacked out and must be hurried to the emergency clinic for guaranteed clinical consideration. The character of the fighting accomplice has not been uncovered, yet reports recommend that he was an old pro regardless of his experience. He couldn't endure Tyson's crude power, which is as yet a central trait of his battling style. As paramedics showed up on the scene, the competing accomplice was cognizant yet obviously perplexed, and his condition is being checked intently. Even at 58 years of age, Tyson's unstable power in the ring stays unbelievable. Many fans and experts have contemplated whether his body, following quite a while of retirement in actual wear, may as yet uphold his once predominant boxing style. This occurrence feels a little wary to rest Tyson, known for his mind-boggling knockout proportion during his prime, appears to have kept up with a lot of his savagery. His renowned uppercuts and snares have sent various rivals to the material, and this competing accomplice seems to have been no special case. This occasion fills in as a chilling sign of exactly the way that hazardous Tyson can in any case be, even in a controlled climate. In ongoing meetings, Tyson himself has recognized that his power hasn't reduced essentially, and this knockout seems to back up those cases. Mike Tyson's impending battle with Jake Paul has collected huge media consideration, with fans separated about whether Tyson's age or Paul's absence of involvement will play the characterizing jobs in the session. Paul, a YouTuber turned fighter, has gained notoriety for taking out previous UFC warriors and individual web characters. Notwithstanding his unconventional way to confining, Paul is a real pro, the ring having gathered an undefeated record in proficient battles. Anyway, venturing into the ring with Tyson is a completely unique test. Tyson isn't regarding this battle as a display or a cause coordinate. Readiness has been thorough, with insiders revealing that Tyson is preparing with a re-established feeling of direction and discipline. His routine incorporates extraordinary fighting meetings, an exhausting wellness routine, and zeroing in on the basics of his battling style. The knockout episode is proof that Tyson is investigating every possibility in his mission to demonstrate that he's as yet a power in the boxing scene even at his old age. 3 weeks in front of their confrontation in the ring, Tyson shared competing film via web-based entertainment. Catching the second, he stunned a preparation accomplice, a sharp left snare sent his rival part of the way through the ropes. "I'm simply getting everything rolling," Tyson composed. Going with a video in July, Paul got a technical knockout triumph over bare-knuckle boxing star Mike Perry, further developing his expert boxing record to 101 in the meantime. Tyson ventured into the ring for a presentation match against Roy Jones Jr. in November 2020. The session endured all rounds and finished in a draw. Tyson's last authority and closing challenge was 2005, where he resigned on a stool against Kevin McBride, bringing about a misfortune by RTD. It's been almost 20 years since Tyson last ventured into the ring for an expert battle. In his 2020 presentation against Jones Jr., he showed he actually had some flash. Paul, at 31 years, Tyson's Jr. might have youth on his side yet. As the familiar adage goes, a contender's influence is the last thing to blur. In the meantime, Mike Tyson's representative has settled concerns, affirming the 58-year-old confining symbol is great well-being in spite of developing stresses over his state of being, paving the way to his session with Jake Paul. Iron Mike is preparing for a zapping return to the ring, currently scheduled to go head against the Issue Kid on November 15th at at&T Field in Arlington, Texas. The session was initially anticipated July, yet Tyson was forced to step back after ulcer discharge postponed the expected standoff. The heavyweight monster has been missing from proficient contests since his 2005 misfortune to Irishman Kevin McBride, a loss that incited his quick retirement. Anyway, quite a while back, Tyson made a short revisitation of the ring in a display session, facing one more resigned boxing symbol, Roy Jones Jr. With the battle now under month away, worries among Tyson's allies about his prosperity have strengthened. These feelings of dread raised further when Iron Mike conceded he has been finding it hard to stroll after his fighting meetings. Tyson has stayed under the radar via virtual entertainment lately, Yet the previous world heavyweight champion actually shares looks at his serious instructional meetings, sometimes in a new video. Tyson conveyed a quick, strong left snare that amazed his fighting accomplice, leaving fans in stunningness. Yet in another video, his most perceptive devotees saw a likely issue with Tyson's right knee. Tyson was spotted vivaciously striking a weighty sack and participating in fighting meetings, a knee support immovably lashed to his right leg. This subtleties recommended he may be managing a minor physical issue. Only weeks in front of his impending battle, Tyson's delegate Andrew Roth has now tried to subdue any hypothesis over a physical issue. He told USA Today the can support is rigorously for deterrent measures and has no pertinence on his exhibition or capacities. To win this battle, it resembles one tennis star Novak Djokovic has worn, I think, a similar brand. Even no injury here, he's looking strong. Teddy Chartbook, who worked with Tyson under Cus D'Amato when Iron Mike was a teen, likewise made an appearance and shared his contemplations on the pressure rest. Chartbook told USA Today didn't appear to be anything limited in his developments or his legs approaching, he added. Typically, when you have a knee issue, it would confine you or compromise you more going to the side. Tyson don't go to the side any. He, for the most part, goes straight forward. Is the sleeve there since there was an issue? Is an issue. I saw no proof of that by the thing he was doing, regardless of certain worries raised by the A4 referenced film. Tyson's most enthusiastic fans stay confident that he can put on a fabulous act again on November 15th. Then again, the result of the boxing fight between Jake Paul dad and Mike Tyson has been anticipated by YouTuber KSI, who has censured Paul for showing up horrendous, with a battle gravitating toward theory is whirling among fans and examiners. The same Paul seems sure about his capacities in any event, venturing to such an extreme as to move his rival to a $5 million bet. The latest analyst, individual YouTuber turned fighter KSI asserted that Paul showed up terrible in the preparation recordings he had seen in the 22nd of October YouTube video. KSI said, I've seen pieces of Paul's preparation film. God, he looks horrendous, man, and he looks so sluggish, so drowsy. This isn't his regular weight. What will be disregarding his analysis. KSI went on by saying that he accepts Paul will enjoy the benefit due to his old age. He said, I actually believe he will totally obliterate Mike Tyson, since Mike Tyson is old as when Tyson gets demolished, and afterward individuals on Twitter will be like, how could we let this happen? God help us, this is so terrible. I will be the one being like, well, I told you, regardless of both being fighters. KSI and Paul still can't seem to confront offering, despite the fact that Paul once communicated a longing to execute KSI in the meantime. It has been accounted for that in the late spring of 2025, Jake Paul will at last make his MMA debut. Almost a long time back, Paul marked an arrangement to obtain value in the Expert Warriors Association, igniting continuous theory about his possible introduction in the enclosure, despite the fact that he was focusing on a battle this year. His loss to Tommy Rath in 2023 moved his concentration back to his boxing vocation. While the virtual entertainment sensation is completely centered around his impending session with Tyson, he is, by all accounts, peering toward a potential MMA debut in 2025.